So maybe I could just ask each panelist to introduce themselves briefly. You've seen, obviously, Saul, he just spoke, so he's already really, I think, dealt with his introduction. But to my immediate left is Dave. So just introduce yourself and a little bit about what you're doing with social media and any observation you may have for the day, and then we'll go down the path, go down the line.
I'm Dave Chomitz. I'm a real estate broker in Coburg. Anybody who has any clients coming to Coburg, I pay a 30% referral. I've been involved with social media for 2 years, I guess, and I'm on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. Those are the only 3 platforms that I work. And I do a video blog as well, www.chomstv.com. Feel free to visit. I appreciate any feedback anybody might have.
Okay, thank you, Dave. And Dave Phillip?
Yeah. Hi, I'm David Pylyp. I'm kind of a legend in my own mind for YouTube videos. I'm a little outspoken and a little bit irreverent, and I say good morning every morning on Twitter. I play a bit on Facebook. It's good stuff. It drives people to my web pages and to my blogs and gets me readership. And then people put up their hand and say, hi, I'd like to buy a house in this building, which is kind of pretty cool. That's what we're all doing it for. So I hope you embrace it. It's a lot of fun.
Great. Thank you, David. And Karim?
My name is Karim Kanji. I am a Toronto Community Manager for techvibes.com, and I also just started up my own company called thirdocean.com.
Okay.
That's
Thank
all.
you.
I'm Saul.
Saul. Just heard from Saul.
What is Third Ocean?
Yeah.
Third Ocean is a Third Ocean. Well, I don't want to be like Dave here and sell myself, but I'm just kidding. Third Ocean is a social word of mouth company, and looking to help brands take advantage of online and offline experiences with their market.
And why the name Third Ocean, if we can ask?
So there's people have heard of. I love this question. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of Blue Ocean Strategy.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so there's a Blue Ocean Strategy, then there is what's known as the Bloody Waters or the Red Ocean, and so we don't want to be either one, so we have
The Third Ocean. Very good.
Here we are.
Okay, excellent. So let's Tech Vibes.
Techvibes.com.
Just explain what that is.
So techvibes.com is an online magazine talking about technology and social media in Canada, and I take care of what's going on in Toronto.
Okay. All right. Any questions from the floor? Yes, go ahead, please. So can you just repeat, whoever wants to answer that, what your understanding of the question, just for the sake of the video?
The question is what to blog about and how to connect with potential consumers.
But for me, it's easier to blog about my agent than it is real estate agent, but I think only other real estate agents find that relevant. How do you find relevant topics for consumers?
Well, do consumers ever ask you questions about what does this mean? Why do I need a certain thing done before I buy a home? Why do I need to see a lawyer? Like what I do is I would always, on my personal blog, I will always talk about questions that people ask me. Because that is I consider that my consumer. So I won't necessarily talk about my life on my blog. I'll talk about what people are asking me. For example, on Tech Vibes, I blog about technology and social media. And I'll write about what people want me to talk about. So I'll talk about stuff that's going on that is relevant to, because I know my community. So if your community is asking you certain questions, obviously answer that person, but I'm sure there's a dozen people that have the same question. So put it in a blog. That's just one way.
Yeah, so David, what do you guys do? You must
These
face...
are the Daves I know, by the way.
You guys must face this in your business every day?
Yeah, I don't write a blog. I started writing a blog about 3 years ago, and I found that I wasn't that interesting. So after about a month and a half, I had to give it up. I just ran out of stuff to say. So what I do instead, I do a video blog, and I I started off trying to do it once every couple of days, and truthfully, I'm not that interesting about that either. So I just do it whenever it moves me. Sometimes it's once a month, sometimes it's once a week. When I find something that I think would be interesting to either myself, or if I get asked a question by a client or a customer, or I tried to create a video archive of real estate in general information and then community-specific information all in one spot. And I get good feedback from it, I really do. I don't know how many people actually visit it and kick around, but I found that it's a great way to build relationships with people, and I found that it's been very good for my business.
And David, do you want to answer the question? How do you come up with content? How do you come up with ideas?
I run Google Alerts, and Google Alerts give me news items by key strategy for things that are in Toronto. I've been running a series right now on Twitter with Bob Ford and the gravy train, and because he wants to stop the gravy train. So what's Bob Ford going to have for lunch on his first date? Do you think he's going to exercise at Nathan Phillips Square in the skating rink? And it gets, you see what you're doing, you're laughing a bit, it's cheeky, but I want to get noticed, that's the whole point. People kind of go, well, who is this jerk? And then they check out the website and they look at a few pages, and that turns into the minute 30, minute 40, 2 minutes on site on the videos and different action, and that generates other interest. That's what you want to do, is you want to attract them, engage them, and try to create a communication, and then ultimately a relationship.
Yeah, I would also say figure out what the goal for your site is going to be, and once you know what the goal is, it'll be a lot easier to develop content. So if the goal is to be, if you want to be a thought leader in, in a neighborhood or about real estate in general, then your content is going to go towards more, thoughtful, heavy, sort of like, this is what's going on, and if your goal is just lead generation, you can do perhaps a little bit lighter stuff, just to get thing, like, one of the sort of the dirty little tricks of blogging, if you just care about eyeballs and things like that, you can actually check what Google Trends are. See what the most talked about stuff that day is, and then write one of those really horrible blog posts, 8 ways real estate is like Michael Phelps, because, Michael Phelps was all over the news that day and stuff like that, and then people looking for Michael Phelps will, find you, but really what you should do is just figure out what you want, and then the content will come, sooner, because, a lot of people have been successful just writing about their neighborhood. Writing about why people should move into this neighborhood, and then because they really boost up the neighborhood, you're the neighborhood expert in that area, you're creating a demand and desire for, like a 20-block radius, people are going to find you, because all of a sudden people are like, oh, I gotta live over there. So figure out what you want and work backwards.
Okay, great, thank you. Question over here?
I have a quick question for whoever. It's always a daunting task getting started out with videos and going to. Can you give us some idea of the cost of
Makeup, you need a little makeup for that.
outside of the makeup and the hair filler? So for me, what do you guys? Because you guys are both running some fairly consistent appearances on the web. So give us an idea of what kind of equipment you guys use, so that for people here kind of factoring the cost.
I would love one of those like they have at the back. A rig like that on a hard drive is about $1,500 plus an outside microphone, a good quality tripod, set you back another couple $100. Doing the take 38 times makes you the CBC in a tax subsidized corporation. Going out and buying a $500 camera with a hard disk, get a little remote control, $500, you're in. Get a tripod, they're $20. Don't put it in a high traffic area because it's going to get knocked over. It weighs 3 ounces. There's nothing to them. They're plastic little droppy things, right? But you can do the take 20 times without moving. Please use a teleprompter. It's not that hard. Obama reads a speech, so can you. Practice, practice, practice your delivery, and then your monitor is slightly below the line of the camera, and guess what you're reading? So does Stephen Harper. I'm sorry. Stop trying to decide you have to be Martin Scorsese with a 22-minute video delivery that's perfect. I edit, I splice, I don't care, I put pieces together. Sometimes it's rough, sometimes it's good. I try to do the Old Spice guy with the commercial catching the check. He caught a fish, I caught a check. I'm trying to spin off the Old Spice guy. But try to do something that gets you noticed. That's the whole point. Cheap.
I take a very different tack to
Show
it.
them your stick.
And I don't have my sticks over the table.
He's got a beautiful stick. He holds it in front of himself with
This
his
is my whole
camera.
camera crew right here.
The whole thing's right here.
And I use the Kodak ZI-8 camera. It's a pocket video camera, retails for $200. At least that when I bought it was $200, probably less than that now. There's a lot of, you can do it with your digital, regular digital camera, you know, your, like the Sony CyberShot will shoot video. That's what I used for the first 4 or 5 months that I was doing it. What I liked about the Kodak ZI-8 is has an external mic jack. And with all of these videos that we do, sound is about the hardest thing to get right. So with the Kodak, and it was the only one at the time, I don't know if there's others now or not, but when I bought this last year, the Kodak ZI-8 was the only one that had an external mic jack. And so I carry a mic with me, and it's a $10 computer mic that you plug in when you want to talk to someone on your computer. And for windy days, I took a sponge and I cut a slit in it, and I put it over the top of the, like, and you can shoot outside, believe it or not, you can shoot outside with this thing, and you wouldn't know that you didn't have a high quality microphone. The sound is just phenomenal, for what I do. It works really well. I don't use a teleprompter. I just kind of wing it, and when I'm comfortable with it, I stop. And I think that makes me more personal. Not, just the way I do it. And all in, I use a tripod once in a while. The trouble with the ZI-8 is the focal length is 51 inches. So unlike George, I can't hold it like this. It won't focus properly. So you have to have it further away than that. So you have to do it with a tripod, or it's over at the other table, but I carry a monopod when I need to. And if it's not that hard, it's very easily done. All in, $250 you're starting.
Okay. Other questions? Sure.
Actually, I was just mentioning here a little while ago that I have bought into, and I know David says not to buy anything, it should be free, but I subscribe to Con F5. And if you have a little webcam on the top of your computer, you can sit there and you can make your videos, and it's just about as easy as it can get, or I wouldn't be able to do it. And you can upload those onto anything you want, and it's $40 a month.
Sure. Okay.
$10 a week,
I don't know.
10 a day.
Works for you?
I also have to tell you, I've decided that when I've got my own company coming up, and it's situated right in between the middle of two bars. And this one's called the Red Dog Tavern, this one's called Spanky's Tavern. So,
Spank
it's
the Red
Saul's
Dog.
idea. We have a sign going up, and it's called the Thirsty Pooch Tavern. And so all summer long, as people are walking past, we're going to have a little dog bowl in front, so it's in the cafe district. So I
Nice.
thought,
Yeah?
what a great idea.
Sure. Yeah. Good stuff.